number 8475, Agrobat. And number 280-64212, Danny Darko.
All right, and for Arizona Hot Shots, I've got number 17, Bitch Please, number 55, Skid Vicious, number 68, Juicy Kiltor, number 95, Lightning the Queen, number 131, Huerta, number 151, Ash Smash'em, 616, Antifa, 623, Holly Hood, 666, Strange, 669, Nikki Badass, 835, Scaren Yeager, 925, Evil Twin, 1897, Impaler Swift, and 1981, Sandra Slay O'Connor.
All right, and we are underway. We'll get you the officials after this jam is over. That's Strange jamming for Arizona and is out and clear. I suppose I could have been looking at who was jamming for Texas while you were reading the roster, but they got away from me, unfortunately.
They did. I'm looking for a star over there.
Yeah,
I'm looking,
I believe at the moment we have a star off, which is part of the issue.
Yeah.
So here comes Strange now, weaving through on another scoring pass. Yeah, we've got...
And for Texas, we're in a holding pattern here. Sorry,
At the
Texas.
moment, whoever has the star in their hand is just playing defense.
Yes.
So, around the outside goes Strange.
Okay,
3
there's...
seconds
Wait,
left.
I see something. I see something.
Clofton P. Grudge forgot the projector. You knew it was going to happen sooner or later. Let's just get out of the way while the bout numbers are in the single digits. Check that off your bingo card anyway. See, the thing is, I have this sleeve that goes over my mic that I'm not supposed to take off unless I've switched the scoreboard back on.
It only works if you don't take
and
it
I'm
off.
so excited to talk that I'm like, get that out of here.
We don't need that.
They want to hear some me.
All right, so now for Texas, we've got 616 Scapegoat as jammer, and it looks like Evil Twin for the Hot Shots.
Indeed. Scapegoat fighting to get out as Twin passes by on the outside.
Yeah,
and now
Scapegoat doing a great job busting out of the pack there. Looks like we got a little bit of a jammer race between Scapegoat and Evil Twin.
So Twin back to the pack and up to the high side, runs up into the rail. Good defense by Texas, forcing the call off.
Yeah, absolutely. And great job by Scapegoat for getting out of the pack so quickly as well.
Let's bring you those officials as we're getting ready for this next jam to start. Your head referee for this one is Hassel Black. Your GE is, your game executioner is Slavia Majora. Haha. Your pack refs are Dave Brawlings and Bell Bruising. Your jam refs are Mick Winkle and Helvetica. Eyes in the Sky are Meryl Streak and Siren. Your OPRs are Jax to Win and She-Ra. Your penalty tracker is Rosie the Ripper. Your penalty tracker assistant is Freya Hugs. Penalty boxes are Chakilra and Psychosis. Whiteboard is Transylvania. Scoreboard is Bunny Holly. Runner is Infidel Castro. Your alternate is Insubordinate Amy. All right, that is Bitch Please for Arizona, who is out and clear as your lead jammer. Texas jammer now going to take off as well to try to keep this to one scoring pass. And that is going to be... Where did my roster get to? There we go.
Sorry, I got it.
Oh, no, it's all right. That was going to be Danny Darko, I believe. I think Danny Darko goes by the last 4 digits of the number.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I'm seeing a whole bunch of numbers here.
Right. You can always tell when announcers have a team for the first time in a tournament. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that?
We're just trying to figure it out. We're just trying to figure it out.
This time your jammer for Texas is going to be number 956.
956, yep. And Sandra Slay O'Connor for Arizona.
That's right. That's our boss. Sandy now is going to reestablish on the track after getting blocked off and is looking for an opening. Now to the inside, gets out and clear.
It looks like Hey Hey is still at the back of the pack there, kind of trying to get through some Arizona opposition as Sandy's coming around. Hey Hey making a little spin move there at the top, gets bumped off into the infield, but making it back on the track as Sandy's looking to get some points. Sandy squeaks through the pack.
Sandy able to dodge that last sliding blocker of Texas.
Hey Hey looking to make it out of the pack, getting a little bit of a shoulder there from Nikki Badass. Ooh, Sandy got sandwiched there between 2 Texas players, managed to get out.
And in comes to the jam.
And it looks like for Texas on the line, we got Stevie Kicks.
Your Arizona jammer is Muerta. So it was 10 points for Arizona in that last jam.
Ooh, Stevie gives a little bit of a shoulder there to Muerta as they come off the jammer line. Muerta's out as lead jammer. Stevie is there at the back, bumping a little bit with Skaren Jaeger.
Muerta now is weaving through the pack and ends up getting blocked off to the infield, so ends up having to reestablish behind that whole pack. Now gets a whip from
we
Lightning.
got a whip. Yes, Lightning the Queen, I believe, was the one who helped Muerta along on that one. Love to see that.
Texas is going to try to line up at the back of the pack as best they can, but Hollywood is in there to keep them from getting a wall together. Couple of skaters down hard at the back of the pack, now reestablished.
Texas looks like they're regrouping to kind of stop Muerta there with a little bit of a 3/4 wall.
Muerta in there, braid flying around. Interesting, Mixed Mayhem wears number 666. That's why Strange wears 999 for Transagenda, because they skate together.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay,
there you go.
perfect. Yeah, and all you got to do is turn it upside down.
Yeah. So, anyhow, we have a stoppage in play. It is an official timeout is what it is. So, we're going to have a stoppage there. We'll get you the jammers and whatnot. A lot of penalties coming in, which I'm sure is what it is. Yeah, a whole bevy of penalties. So, 43-0 at the moment with 9:03 to go in the first half.
Quick reminder for everybody that you can do shout outs via our website. So go to AZDD and go to the merch page, and you can do a shout out for your favorite player, and we will go ahead and read that out on the mic.
So Raven Sweet Haven is here in the vendor village, and as I've said before, there's all sorts of goods down there. It's mostly sweet. It's called Raven Sweet Haven, but as I said, first of all, the sweetness level varies, and she baked everything, so she'll tell you. Meanwhile, the savory stuff, oh my goodness, and she came up and gave me some of these muffins. I mean, it's just flour, butter, buttermilk, corn, bacon, cheese, egg, sugar, baking powder, salt. You know, done and done. That's the bacon cheese corn muffins. There's sausage chili corn muffins. These things are otherworldly when you stick them in the microwave. Muffins of all shapes and sizes, cake slices, scones. Get down and check out Raven Sweet Haven.
It looks like right now we got a lot of Vicious going on. We got a couple Viciouses that were on the jammer line. Skid Vicious for Arizona and Sid Vicious for Texas. So let's see what we've got going on. Skid making it through the pack rather easily. Sid at the back there contending with a couple of hot shots. Looks like Ash Smash'em. And Skid's coming around for some scoring. Sid's trying to make their way through the pack, looking to get a little help from some teammates there.
Sorry, I was discussing something with Pretty Hurt Machine, but I certainly hope you pointed out that was Sid and Skid.
Yes.
Good.
I did, yes.
Good job, kid. You did?
Oh, did you see the hug?
Yeah,
there was a
again,
hug.
once again, there we go. Two teammates on Transagenda. That is Strange for Arizona and Scapegoat for Texas. Two original Transagenda skaters. Yeah, definitely. They were both on the first Transagenda team from 2 years ago at Roller Rage. Lined up and ready to go. We're just about squarely halfway through the first half. There we are. Slight false start, but we are ready to go. All right. Jam 7, Strange down to the inside. Scapegoat is going to get right up to the front and just able to, no, wow, excellent block. I thought I saw Scapegoat get by, and Hollywood said, no, thank you. Hollywood with an
yeah, that was an amazing block
yeah.
right there.
I thought Hood was beat. And Hood still got that block around.
That was like a game-changing kind of block, too, because it looked like Scapegoat was going to get out of the pack and become lead jammer.
No,
so.
I seriously thought I saw Scrape pop ahead, and then all of a sudden they were gone.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, Hollywood got in there with some extremity or body part. Meanwhile, Strange now, right up into the back of the pack, runs squarely into Mixed Mayhem and Jose Cuervo. Interesting. Jose Cuervo is wearing number 247. So, it says Lick It on here. But again, tournament. That's Jose Cuervo, number 247 out on the track. Big collision at the back of the pack. Your Texas Jammer has injured their face of some sort. Yeah, let's see. That was Scapegoat went down and came up holding the jaw. So, looks like all right, though. They're going to head back to the bench. No medics coming over.
Looking like
so
looking like
yeah.
everything's okay
But
there.
must have just gone down and banged the probably ear-holed
Oh my gosh,
himself on
all
the
the
ground.
banging and bruising and
Yeah.
And looks like that is 956, which is hey, but the name on the back does not say that. So
No.
I'm gonna go with the roster on this
Yeah,
one.
we're gonna go with hey, but the name on the back is Hello Nurse. So, which I heard Olive say there, they go, "Hello Nurse." I'm like, oh, oh. Meanwhile, there we go to the front.
Oh, look
Nikki.
at this! Look at this!
Nikki is out, and Nikki we've had our first wardrobe malfunction. Nikki says, "Oh my quad! Look at this thing." Absolutely tore the leg of her uniform
You
bottoms
know what? Stuff
right
happens.
open. Yeah.
Stuff happens.
You know, those are tight pants. It's like a balloon. It is once a tear starts, it's gonna go
Sometimes-
it's like a run in your pantyhose.
Sometimes, you're sacrificing some blood to the track monster. Sometimes it's fabric.
And
So-
Nikki did pick up a penalty. Actually, there's going to be a challenge. But yeah,
Oh.
Nikki picked up a penalty, and it could have been, I don't know, any number of things. We'll have to see here. At the moment, Texas was going to be setting up for a power jam. We will find out, though, once this challenge is reviewed. So Arizona is going to. All right, ends up. See, there we go. Wait. Okay, here comes the head ref.
All right, we've got our first shout out of this bout. So amazing. And this one comes in from Quentin. And Quentin says, with just a little bit of rusties and an insane amount of luck, you too can be like McQueen. Ka-chow!
Fantastic. So there was not a challenge. We were trying to determine which side called the challenge, and then up comes the head ref to say no challenge. So neither side used a challenge. It ended up being just an official timeout, I suppose, technically speaking, for academic purposes.
Meanwhile, we've got Skaren Yeager for the Hot Shots, who is our lead jammer. And it looks like that is 7777.
That's Tony Montana.
Tony Montana.
Yeah, hang on, let me try that again. It's Tony Montana.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Say hello to my little friend.
Anyway,
I'm really
Skaren Yeager-
bad at impressions.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. Yeager with a fancy footwork, and the crowd is loving that. That got a cheer from everybody in the crowd. Excellent move down along in there.
It looks like Tony's there back at the end of the pack there trying to get through, but there's like 4 Hot Shots that are back there trying to make that an impossibility. So Skaren Yeager's coming around for some more points here. Slips through, little spin move.
Yeager stuck the landing, big grin. Big grin, you could see it like bottom jaw hanging open enough to see it out of the mouth guard.
Yes.
After not falling on that spin move. So that ended up being a 20-point jam for Skaren Yeager in Arizona. So very, very productive. Fancy footwork by Yeager. This is going to be Ash Smesham for Arizona, jamming for the first time.
And 616 Scapegoat for Texas. Both of them take off like a shot. Ash going to the high there, sliding through the pack. Let's see if they can make it out. Oh, wait a minute.
We
Do
had a
have
star pass
we
for
had a star
Warrior.
pass.
Yeah, that was slick.
Amazing, very sly.
That's right, taking over as Mixed Mayhem, number 666
yeah.
for Texas. So Texas
Love
lead jam.
that.
Ash now looking for an opening, and Mixed Mayhem runs squarely into Skid And that was just kind of one of those irresistible force and immovable object kind of things, because they just sort of hit each other and just bounced off.
Incredible magnetism.
Yes.
Looks like Ash made it out of the pack, working their way around.
So now Ash is going to try to force that call off. Mix Mayhem is just trying to get their hips in front of as many skaters as they can. Now is just going to try to fight through. So Ash now is on a scoring pass for Arizona, and that'll do it. The clock expires. So Texas gets 3 points going up on the board. We've got a team timeout, Texas. Team timeout, Texas. So they're going to take a moment to talk this over. It's 2:41 till halftime.
What do we need to talk about?
What do we need to talk about? Well, let's see. Also, I wanted to mention Raven Sweethaven. Raven's going to be here all of tomorrow and Sunday. So, I mean, if you're listening and you're like, I wasn't sure if I was going to come on down. Seriously, there's so many good things and so many good things over in the merch shop. I also like that the first two things are green and red. If you are making plans to be with us for the after party on Sunday is at Thunderbird Lounge. It's a 70s theme bar, all-inclusive crowd, free classic arcade games, and a chilled-out summer patio. So that is on 7th Avenue, just north of Indian School. It's basically across the street from the Filiberto's that is just south of Title IX Sports Bar, which used to be Short Leash Hot Dogs. That's where it is.
And it looks like there's actually going to be 2 after parties this weekend. It looks like there's going to be one after 7 tomorrow, Saturday, and on Sunday after 4 p.m. So there you go.
Yeah, maybe they should have, put something like "see next page." I was just like, well, that's weird. The address isn't on here. Good thing I know where Thunderbird Lounge is.
We got it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So double the fun, Saturday and Sunday for the after party.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we are just about ready to get underway, and we have our second Texas Power Jam of the first half. That's Scapegoat at the jammer line, all by themselves, and we have a full pack otherwise, so going to be interesting to see what we can do here. Scapegoat has had some success getting clear. Suki was just checking to see if the food truck's still here. It's a Texas Power Jam, and Scapegoat is out. So, Texas is holding the pace of play very still at the back of the pack, and that was a great sliding balk by Ambitious, trying to open room for Scapegoat. Going to try to go right up the gut, right down Main Street, fighting and trying to grind past those blockers at the front. Texas now clearing people out of the way. They're trying to do it the hard way. Scrape is going to go up against Strange, and Strange delivers Scapegoat to the infield.
Yeah, some nice blocking there. Juicy Kiltor actually stopped Scapegoat from getting by, then bounced on down to Strange. So good job for the Hotshots on their defense.
Scapegoat gets out, checks the scoreboard. 4 seconds left, and they will not get back around to the pack. Five-point Power Jam for Texas to put a few more points on the board for them. We've got Danny Darko out there for Texas. And Aunt Tifa is your jammer for Arizona, jamming for the first time. And Tifa gets blocked off to the inside, looking for room down there in the first turn. And now finds an opening around the outside. Danny Darko down to the inside, but gets blocked up to the rail. Looking back at the back of the pack. Here comes Tifa. Danny takes off along the inside. Tifa is going to get around the outside and is going to try to get the pursuit on here for that jammer point. Danny is going to try to get in the way, stay low. And Tifa calls it off, approaching the pack. All right.
So we've got Tony Montana, 777 for Texas, and Lightning the Queen for Arizona, who is out, and Lee Jammer.
Lightning shakes free around the outside. So we're at the half. That does it for the halftime. Excuse me, that does it for the first half. This is the last jam of the first half. Lightning weaving in and out. Now there's a whole three wall of Texas defenders, but they just got a little out of play. We're just kind of watching Lightning and didn't realize they were beyond the blocker line. So now they're all going to come together at the front of the pack. Jammer's at the back. Jammer has the star off. Lightning is looking for an opening and gets through that front wall with assistance from Skarinieger wearing the pivot stripe.
Tony's still fighting there at the back, trying to get through that wall of hot shots.
Lightning finishes off that jam. The halftime clock has expired. That ended up being a 14-15 point jam. So Arizona lands neatly on 100 as we head into the half. So we'll step aside for a 5-minute halftime break. As we mentioned, Arizona 100, Texas on the board later in the half. They've got 8 points up on the board. We'll step aside for our last halftime break of the first day of Battle on the Bank 2025. Be back momentarily.
All right there, Derby fans. I just was informed that the shout-outs are actually going off of the ticket section of our website. So if you were looking for that, go to tickets and you'll be able to find the place where you can go ahead and do the shout-out for your favorite players. So my apologies for not having the correct information, but we have it now.
Yeah, like I say, tournaments, you know what I mean? So we are ready to go in the second half. Your halftime break is over. And it looks like, I feel like I see a jammer star on that board, but I'm not sure. We will find out momentarily. All right, and I did. It ends up being an Arizona Power Jam to start things off here in the second half. That's Impaler Swift at the jammer line.
Yes, for the first time.
Yeah. Swifty loves to jam.
Swifty
Just like
does
Lightning.
love to jam.
Lightning
Yeah.
and Swifty love to jam. So does Remy. Remy Ruckus loves it. Meanwhile, Swifty is out there for the Arizona Power Jam and is going to get bumped into the rail hard by the Texas defense down there. Now fights around the outside and gets clear. So there goes Impaler Swift.
Texas there in the pack trying to pull together some defense against Swifty as she comes around and gets through.
Texas defenders trying to line up as best they can, and this time able to break the stride a little bit. Swifty still finishes off that scoring pass. 13 seconds left in the Arizona Power Jam. So Swifty takes a tumble there in the back straightaway. Now gets up, continuing on. Is going to go ahead and call it off.
That's all right. You got to make a little offering to the Track Monster, right?
Track Monster remains undefeated. Track Monster remains undefeated, except by Jaeger. Jaeger beat the Track Monster by staying upright. So yeah, you say the Track Monster is undefeated, except when it's been defeated.
There you go.
Exactly.
All right. Looks like on the jammer line for the first time is Juicy Kiltor for Arizona, and
that's Nina Guillotina for Texas, jamming for the first time in this bout. Juicy is going to get around the outside. I saw a Texas blocker get hit hard. Took a tumble down there. That was the Juicy Kiltor is, as we mentioned, out and clear. Your Texas jammer right up in front of us. Nina is going to get shoved down to the inside by Hood. Reaches back to adjust her ponytail and gets back to block. Juicy goes around the outside. Block at the back of the pack. Lightning knocking a Texas blocker out of the way. There's still 16 seconds left in this jam.
Yeah,
It
there's
feels
still
like it's been
plenty of
going
time
on
for
forever.
Juicy to make a mark here.
Weaving through and getting clear. And Juicy's going to call it off. A big smile on Juicy's face as she coasts in up in front of us, Juicy Kiltor. She was off for a very long time for, I believe, a couple of different injuries, and so it's really good to see Juicy back at full
Yes,
strength and skating.
absolutely.
So missed almost a full league season with various items and
Yeah, it's been
things. Yeah,
It's
so.
been tough. Injuries have been a real problem this last season.
So 10 points for Juicy. That's going to be Danny Darko for Texas.
And that's Sandra Slay O'Connor.
Yes, it is.
Sandy going low there. Darko going high. Let's see who gets out first. Looks like it is Sandy.
Yep, Sandy's just able to outrun another teammate of Sandy's from Transagenda, Scapegoat. A lot of Transagenda skaters in this game now that I think about it, really. Sandy is going to up to the pack now, gets kind of steered up to the high side into a waiting Texas blocker. And
Darko's
that's
having
Jose,
a little bit of trouble
Jose
towards the back
Cuervo
there.
up there. Knocks Sandy off to the inside, and they are, however, just out of play. So Sandy gets to tiptoe by. Danny Darko is now going to shake clear and get out of the pack, so try to keep this to one more scoring attempt for Sandy. Big collision. I heard somebody get knocked down. Sandy's going to look around, let some time run, and call it off. So it was a 9-point jam. We are looking at Bitch Please on the jammer line for Arizona.
And we've got 956, Hey Hey for Texas. Both jammers trying to get through the pack here. Bitch Please is working their way towards the front. Sliding along the high there. Narrowly misses the Texas blocker.
Yeah, you saw Sid Vicious trying to get up and kind of knock Bitch into the rail, and the Arizona skater was able to win that battle.
Hey Hey having a little trouble back there with the pairing of Jaeger and Strange. Coming around, still looking to get out of that pack. Hey Hey's muscling their way through, not giving up.
So they're at the back of the pack. Hey Hey tried to get in and play some defense. Muerta with a pivot stripe on negates that block attempt as Bitch Please finishes another scoring pass, and the clock will expire on the jam. So another 10-pointer for Arizona. Looks like we've got Mixed Mayhem starting on the jammer line for the first time.
And we've got Skid Vicious for Arizona. Vicious Mayhem. I like that.
And Skid down to the inside, takes a tumble, trying to find an opening along the rail. Couple of blocks from another couple of Texas blockers, and is able to outrun that last one to the end of the pack.
Skid coming around for scoring now. Looks like Mix is there at the back with a couple of hot shots. Skid makes it through.
Bench advises Skid. She's got about 30 seconds left.
And Tiva and Ash are doing a great job at holding back some of the Texas players there. Good defense.
And Texas has passed the star forward, so Skid is going to try to get her along the inside and get that point. Believes that she got it and calls it off. Taking over as jammer for Texas was Nina Guillotina.
Did you see that star pass? That was another stealthy one by Texas,
Yeah,
at least on my end. I didn't see that.
So now it's going to be Hollywood for Arizona.
And on the line for Texas, on the line for Texas, we got Sid Vicious.
Sid's going to get blocked down to the inside by that back wall of Arizona defenders, while Hollywood is now up toward the front, looking for an opening, and gets that Texas pivot pushed out of play, way out of play. Trying to stay relevant, but is now out of play and waiting for the pack to catch up. Pack is going to almost catch up. Still out of play. Tried to make a little run at it. Now that last blocker's back into play. Hollywood's got 30 seconds to play with.
Sid doing their best to kind of get through those Arizona players there at the back, which includes Lightning the Queen, Strange, Juicy Kiltor.
Sid Vicious still looking to get past those two blockers at the back of the pack for Arizona. Hollywood looking to pick up one more scoring pass.
It looks like we lost a wheel or a stopper or something there.
Yeah, I was going to say your head ref out to pick that up. Yep, we got a wheel. Somebody's short a wheel. Somebody blew a tire. So, team timeout for Texas. Yeah, team timeout for Texas. They did have a second half timeout there to use, and they have used it. So, step aside for a moment. That was a 16-point jam for Hollywood. So, 6:50 to go in regulation.
Don't forget about our raffle prizes that we've got going on. Tickets are available at the door. There's also silent auctions. Some of the prizes include Siphon Draw Apothecary, Switchblade Salon, Tucci Touch, Lost Dutchman, Raya Riot Tattoo, Poppin' Joe Skate Bag, Oh My Quad Skate Shop, and Desert Scape Canvas Print. So a lot of really good stuff going on there. A few of those items are raffle, and then a few are silent auction, so go check it out in Vendor Village by the door.
Yeah, the silent auction, worth noting that that's going to be given away at the end of the tournament, so that's going to be open today, tomorrow, and Sunday. So again, as we said, if you're joining us for either of the last 2 days, that's one you can stop in and check out. Make a bid, see how it goes, and you don't have to be present to win those silent auction items. Check in with them on the raffle as far as when raffle prizes are going to be given, but we're not giving any out today, so you still got a free chance at any of those raffle prizes. Back to the action we go. Evil Twin is out there for Arizona. Scapegoat right out behind. Got ourselves a spirited jammer race back to the pack. And
Nice chase by Scapegoat there.
Great chase by Scapegoat.
Caused Evil Twin to call that off pretty darn quick. Okay, really quickly, we have another shout out, I'm excited to say. This is from Sierra, and this one is a big, like, Texas shout out to Ambitious. Big juicy butt.
Yeah.
And then in parentheses it says, I
That
wanted to say ass, and then like mwah. So there you go. That's from Sierra.
I love it. That got a cheer from the crowd. Ambitious number boss. So, yeah, very good.
Meanwhile, it looks like we got Scary Jaeger coming around here for some points, jamming for Arizona.
Texas Jammer is... have to lean forward to look at that one more time. Tony Montana, got completely blank on who that was. Jaeger now up to the pack and is going to had a blocker slide in the way, trying to fight to get by, and is able to do so. So Slow Pack is about to make it in front of us here at the announcer's nest.
Yeah, it looks like maybe where'd the star go?
Yeah, star's off. And
Trying to confuse me by taking that star off.
yeah, somebody's definitely got
There's
it.
a lot of stealth happening on Texas. I got to give them some credit for that because I'm like, where's the star? What happened? There was a star pass. Was it really? I didn't even see it.
All right, jamming for Arizona, minus that loose pant material, is Nikki Vadaz. That's apparently been trimmed off. It's like a Formula One car pulling into the pits. It's like they adjusted the aerodynamic nose, and now it's back out on the track with some Bondo. You know what I mean? Anyways.
I predict this is going to be a fashion trend this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's going to be sporting the one-leg look. Everybody want to be Angel Reese, am I right? Meanwhile, up to the front of the pack, trying to get clear. Nikki goes by around the outside. That Texas Jammer
Yeah, Texas, hey, hey,
is going to fight
is
through
working
and
their
get
way
clear.
outside of
Yeah.
the pack now. As Nikki's coming around, kind of keeping a close eye on the back there.
Runs squarely into a Texas defender there at the back of the pack who's been doing a lot of blocking. That's Nicola Virus. So be about 3.5 minutes to go in regulation when this jam starts. Arizona puts 7 up on the board. This is going to be Muerta for Arizona. Texas jammer is Danny Darko.
And it looks like we got another shout out. This is amazing. This one is from Nathaniel and says, Aaron was right. Let's go, Jaeger. From all the love and support in Georgia.
There you go. Hometown shout out. There we go with Muerta out and clear for Arizona. Texas Jammer is sort of goaded at the back and is now going to be trying to play. Look, effective Jammer defense at the back of the pack, by golly. Now Muerta around the high side as Danny goes down to the middle and gets blocked off. Muerta just dips by that last blocker and calls it off. Sneaky type jammer is Muerta. Gets in there and is able to kind of get through little gaps in the defense. No Muerta from our home league. Well, Muerta picked up a jammer penalty. Here I am giving. Oh no, Muerta did not pick up a jammer penalty. That makes me feel better. All right.
We've got two.
That's
We've
Ash
got Montana
Smash'em.
for Texas.
And
Montana
Ash
for
Smash'em.
Texas. That sounds kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then Ash for AZ.
Yep, and Ash is going to hand that
making
star
moves.
forward to Skid, and Skid is out and clear.
Yeah, Skid's off. Skid's lead jammer. Montana working their way through the pack there.
Skid gets the star on after coming out of the corner.
Ooh, Jose Cuervo did a really nice
Yeah,
job
there we
kind of
go.
breaking up that two wall of the hot shots.
Yeah, Tony Montana gets out, and big block along the inside. It just said, Nicola Virus absolutely wiped out Skid Vicious down there.
Nice
Skid took a
defensive
hard
job on
tumble.
Texas's part there.
Yeah, excellent block there to slow that jam down. Only 1 point for Arizona because Skid ended up going by everybody on the inside. So just got up to call it off. We're going to have a team timeout. Arizona. So Arizona's going to use their second half timeout. The way it was setting up, it looked like we were going to have a power jam for Texas. I am obviously not sure, but that's how it looked. So timeout continuing, head referee up there talking to everybody. I'm going to step out. Suki's going to take you to the end of this bout, but I got a show to get to, and this has run a little late today. So I'm going to dip on out of here. InSupport Amy offered to take Freya home, so that's awesome. But yeah, I'm going to dip out. Suki, you go ahead and close this thing out for us, and I will be back tomorrow to announce some more.
All right, so here we go. We have got 1:50 left in this bout. Texas and Arizona.
No matter what anybody tells you, I'm not leaving early to eat my Raven Sweet Haven corn muffins. That is a dirty, dirty rumor, and I don't know who started it.
Sure, we'll go with that. Lightning the Queen is out as lead jammer for Arizona. We've got a little bit of jostling going back with Texas there. And now Scapegoat has taken over jammer duties for Texas. Lightning the Queen kind of coasting there, looking for the moment, and there it is. Called off the jam. On the jammer line right now for Texas, we have got Hey, and that looks like Sandra Slay O'Connor. I'm worried about all the 9s and the 8s because I know Impaler Swift is out there too. Sandy is lead jammer coming out real quick there. Made quick work of that pack. Coming around now for some points. Not sure where the Texas star is, but I'm sure it will materialize at some point. Some jostling going on there. Sandy is out. Oh, looks like we did have a star pass. And that is 8475 Agrobat, who took over jammer duties for Texas. That was a 7-point jam, so we're looking at 207 to 8. And this could very well be the last jam of the game. The last jam of the game, as well as the last jam of the day. But there's way more to come. We're here Saturday and Sunday, so there's lots more Derby to be had. We've got Holly Hood on the line for Arizona. Is this a power jam? It is. Oh my goodness. So very exciting last jam of the game. The hotshot bench is very excited about this. All right, here goes Hood. Hood kind of slicing their way through the pack very easily. Hot knife through butter. Coming around for those points. Pack's a little bit scattered. Texas got some players there at the front, but Hood manages to squeak by. Pack's moving at kind of a moderate speed here. A little pushing and jostling, trying to break up that 3-wall there at the back. Holly Hood again going through and calls off that jam. So let's see how we end up here. That was a 10-point jam for Holly Hood. Oh, we've got another jam. This time we've got Sandra Slay O'Connor on the line for Arizona. And Nina Guillotina for Texas. Ooh, Nina does a real good job of just sliding by on the coping there, coming around as lead jammer. Sandra Slay O'Connor's out of the pack now. Nina's got a pretty good lead coming up to get some points here. Nina making contact with some Arizona blockers there towards the front. Scapegoat comes in and gives a little bump there to Skid Vicious. Get them out of the way. And Nina calls the jam off. All right, it looks like that's it. 218 to 12 in favor of the Arizona Hotshots. Great job by both teams. And a great end to our first day of Battle on the Bank 2025. Come on down and give your favorite player a high five as they go around the track here. Congratulate both teams on a successful day. And we will see you tomorrow and Sunday. I'm Suki Talkin' Smackhouse. Thank you so much for being here and for being on Twitch.